A very good evening to you, dear viewers. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. I'm your host for tonight, Muhammad Abdurrahim. And tonight we'll be talking about the importance of governance. Governance has a lot of dimensions, economic dimensions, social dimensions, and environmental dimensions. So we'll be talking about governance, the types of governance, the goals of governance, how governance is important to achieving SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and how governance will ultimately help in the field of human development. We'll be doing that in the company of our dear distinguished guest, Dr. Magdy Adly, and he is a management consultant and also a quality control and expert. A very good evening to you, Dr. Adly.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to be with you. Allow me, sir, first, and dear viewers, to watch a report about our main topic for tonight, and then we'll come back and start our discussion.
The Ministry of Communications and Information Technology announced that Minister of Communications and Information Technology, Amr Talat, had inaugurated the Deloitte Innovation Hub backed by a $30 million investment over 3 years. This marks Deloitte's first center for exporting innovative digital services from Egypt. This center has grown its export-oriented operations to serve global clients, currently employing 350 of Egypt's finest professionals, a mix of fresh graduates and seasoned experts. Deloitte aims to scale this workforce to 5,000 specialists in the coming years. Minister Talat emphasized that the opening of the Innovation Center in Cairo demonstrates international confidence in Egypt as a prime destination for investment in IT services and digital innovation. The minister highlighted Egypt's robust growth in digital exports, which reached approximately $6.2 billion in 2023. Looking forward, the center will continue its strategic expansion, offering a wide range of services including artificial intelligence, data analytics, marketing, commerce, cloud services, cybersecurity, and enterprise resource planning, tailored to meet the needs of clients across Europe and the Middle East. This expansion further strengthens the center's positive impact on the Egyptian market, bringing value to various sectors and industries across the country.
Welcome back. Of course, digital transformation is one of the parameters of governance. Data analysis is very important in governance. So thanks a lot to Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdelhamid for this report. We're back here with Dr. Magdy Adly, the Management and Quality Control Consultant. Now, Dr. Adly, can we first start by defining governance? Because it's a big word.
Yes.
It is relatively speaking, a word that we only heard about in the past few decades. So what's the best and simplest definition for governance?
Okay, first of all, thanks a lot for having me tonight. And let me first, governance nowadays is a trend through social media, even through the efforts of government itself for applying governance in all sectors of governorate and all sectors of governments. So governance now is a very important aspect in the administrative governmental sector. The definition of governance itself depends on where you will apply governance. But in general, governance is a concept and a culture, not just expression. Governance defined as a set of rules and instructions and procedures that orienting, or
That orient, yes.
orient, yes,
Yes.
the institutions for achieving its goal. Not even achieving, it's go beyond achieving its goal. Means achieving goals with very high quality
Efficiency, yeah.
and very high efficiency. This is the mean of governance.
Governance. You said it's a concept and it's a culture.
Yes.
I want to stay with these two descriptions.
If you talk about a concept or a culture, you mean entire community or entire society supposed to deal with governance. We are talking now, before I'd like to shed more light about some items so that we can
Please, yes.
yes, understand what is governance means. There is a lot of international or global crises before like Wall Street crisis. This make there is no a confidence between the international companies and stock shares or
Yeah, the holders, yeah.
yes.
Stockholders.
So they think about a behavior that make confidence,
Right.
strong confidence between
The share owners
the
and,
owners
yeah.
and the managers or the leaders.
Right.
So they create that governance expression. So this governance means procedures and means that there is the government itself now is apart from entire. Now a government sharing a citizen with for taking decisions, sharing managers or authority for taking
Responsibility.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the governance itself is a flexible expression, so that there is many types of governance.
Right.
One of these types is general governance, open governance, educational governance, economical governance, open governance. I said. A lot of types of financial governance. According to the site or the place you will applying governance.
Right.
Why we are talking about governance and why it's a must nowadays according to the UN program. A lot of benefits or goals of governance. By the way, governance applied even in a governmental sector or private sectors. And by the way, it has been applied in the private sectors before governmental sectors in Egypt.
A very important point here.
Yes.
Before we talk about the goals of governance or the benefits of governance, I want to stay with the types of governance and go back again to the expression that governance is a concept or governance is a culture. So you mentioned that it was very important, for instance, during Wall Street crises, and the fact that the private sector applied it before governments did.
Yes.
So I understand from what you're saying that if we have institutions or companies that are too big to fail, then governance is a must. There must be governance. Yeah, and
That is actually
right.
Governance. It's a must. It's a relation or natural relationship between the
owners and the directors.
owners and the directors.
Right.
in
The
in
people
government-
and the government.
Yes.
Yeah.
In government, the owners is the citizens. And the directors is
Or the public
governments.
sector. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a
Yeah.
governmental sector administration.
Right.
In the private sectors, the owner of the company and the stakeholders who are sharing in the company.
Right.
So what is the benefits in both private and governmental?
Before the benefits, you said there is something called general
Yes.
governance
General-
and open governance. I want to know the difference
Yes,
between them.
general, you are talking about the concept as a tool. And
The concept at
yes.
large, yes. Yeah.
Open means you can apply it any times and anywhere. Educational means you can apply it in the educational institutions or educational ministries or educational universities.
Right.
This means educational.
Right. Financial.
Financials means you can apply it in a financial institutions, a financial ministries, or a financial companies.
Okay. If we
So-
say social governance.
Social governance means this concept is interested by the NGOs or civil society organizations who are caring with social governance because they need to control the relationship between the civil society and the government. So they use social governance. I'd like to mention also some items called the gap analysis. This story will keep us understanding more about governance, mainly the workers in the government, because right now the topic is new for many workers in government, so
Right.
I'd like to clarify
Yes.
the meaning of governance and how to apply the governance and what is the benefit of governance and
Yes.
what is the relation between governance and sustainable development, and what is the relation between governance and digital transformations. So I will start with gap analysis.
Okay.
There is some countries or some institutions, sorry, are interested with measuring why there is some countries like African continent countries doesn't have good education, good health, and good luxury, and even a clean water, even a clean and low-cost energy. Why? Is it because of the resources of the countries? If the answer is yes, you are mistaken, because African continents having a lot of resources, oils, diamond, gold, all of resources, you can find it in African continents. So what is the problem? Why they are suffering a lot from poverty, from lack of water, lack of education, lack of health care system? Why? Because
There's no governance.
there is no governance. The answer is no governance. So governance is used to finalize the mismanagement. There is a mismanagement. There is no proper administration for the resources of continent or resources of the states.
Right.
So they, as I told you, they create the concept governance.
Yes, it's a very interesting word, by the way, and both in English and in Arabic. I guess in Arabic it's called hawkama, right?
Yes.
Right. So it is really similar to the government, to the word government. So it's government, governance. In Arabic it's hukuma, hawkama. So I mean it's
very
interesting.
it's very nice
Yeah.
story. Governance and government and governorators or governorates, it's come from govern. You know, in Arabic, it's come from the word hakama.
Ruled.
No, the word.
Right, I understand.
Yes, word
I'm
hakama.
just trying to translate the word. Yes.
What is the meaning of hakama?
He judged, or he
Yeah.
ruled,
No.
or gave a verdict.
No. Hakama in Arabic means it's a tool that put in the mouth of the horse,
Ah, okay.
so
Okay.
that it controls its
Right.
movement.
Right.
Once it runs,
Okay.
you can
Okay.
stop it. So this is the meaning of hakama in Arabic reference. So now we can talk about why we need to applying governance even in governmental administrative systems or in a private sectors or a private a private sectors.
Because there must be accountability as well.
Yes,
I mean,
this one of the goals of governance is accountability. But first is if we are talking about governmental sector, first it will achieving the satisfaction of citizens about the provided services which they are taken or given from the government. Second is transparency. And the transparency is very, very important.
that's also a relatively, again, a relatively new word that we only heard about in the past few decades.
Yes.
But 100 years ago, I don't think that word existed, nor did governance.
No,
I assume.
you know why? Data by itself. How the data duplicate, how long is the duplication of data? You know how long is the duplication of data?
No.
Data duplicated every 1 day, every 1 month, or every 1 year?
No, I don't.
Look, since 100 years, data duplicated every one since 1950.
Okay.
Data duplicated every 1 year. Okay.
So there's an exponential.
Yes.
Is it exponential?
Yes, it's the data. It's or knowledge. I talk about, because there is difference between data and knowledge.
Absolutely.
Knowledge is a connection of data.
Right.
Duplicated every 1 year. Now, knowledge and data duplicated every 12 hours.
Amazing. I
Yes.
thought you were going to say 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
That's what I thought you were
Yes,
going to say.
that's right.
Every 12 hours?
Every 12 hours, the knowledge, all knowledge in the world duplication.
Doubles.
Doubles, yes.
Every 12 hours?
So, the acceleration
This is
of knowledge.
scary.
Yes, yes, of course. The acceleration of knowledge, if you compare it with the acceleration of development, there is no compare between the acceleration of knowledge and the acceleration of development.
A clear, easy victory for knowledge, for acceleration of knowledge over the acceleration.
Why there is no acceleration of the development like acceleration of knowledge?
Because we are not managing the new data we are getting
Yes.
in a way that benefits us.
We can't manage the knowledge in a right way. This is the problem. The development is how to manage the resources
Right.
in the right way.
Right. In this case, the resources
Yes.
is the knowledge.
Yes, you have the
resources,
resources.
the knowledge. Yeah.
This leads us to know why we are applying the governance. First, as I told you, to have the satisfaction of the citizen. Secondly is transparency. And by the way, transparency for all the states or all the countries is very important because of one thing, which is the looking for the direct foreign achievements, investments, sorry, direct foreign investments, because you know, when the investors come to any country, the first is looking for the transparency parameter.
Right.
If he asked about if there is a corruption or there is not corruption. If what about the taxes? What about the facilitation of doing his business? All of that. What about the availability of data? This is the meaning of transparency. Availability of data.
Right.
Regardless to the national security data,
Understood.
of course.
Understood.
But you suppose as a company or as even a governmental institutions to be clarified with investors or
to be clear,
to be clear, yes, to be clear with it in the transparency.
Transparent, yes.
With him about the data, because he will invest money and he would like to be sure that he is safe. You understand?
Understand.
The third one is and by the way, that will lead us to talk about the
accountability,
combating the corruption. Combating the corruption is a big story, by the way, and maybe
globally.
Globally, yes, but
and Egypt is part of this globe, so naturally
we are a part of this world. But the problem, the percent of corruption in every country. By the way, the International Bank,
World Bank, the
World Bank, yes, make studies since before the UN agreement of sustainable development in 2015, I think, on the countries of Mediterranean Sea region. He find a very catastrophic results, by the way. 72% of the investors predict that they will pay something which is called
bribes.
Bribes, yes. They will pay bribes to get the certification of their business. 60% of them refuse to make investments because of the corruptions. 34 or a lot of numbers, because the corruption have a problem with the investments. So once we assign about the agreement of UN by 2015, we start in a national strategy for combating the corruption. This national strategy, which is directed by His Excellency Mr. President, is compatible with the vision of Egyptian 2030, of Egypt 2030,
yes.
And applied right now 3 stages. from 2014 up to 2018, and from 2019 up to 2022, and from 2023 up to 2030.
So we are in the third and final
in the third and
phase.
the final phase of the
National Strategy for Combating Corruption.
Combating corruption.
Okay.
Because you know, corruption is a very bad factor for the good or healthy environment of investment.
Naturally, yeah.
Look, the unclear money in the world, maybe this is the first time to hear about that. Unclear money.
You mean the money that you don't know its source?
Sources,
you don't
illegal money.
Yeah, okay.
In the world, in the entire world, is much more than the legal money. So these owners of illegal
So most of the money in the world, we don't know where it came from, or it came from illegal channels.
Yes, illegal
businesses.
channels.
Most
So
of them.
these-
More than 50%.
Yes, these owners of that money would like to make money laundering for it. So they are looking for markets they can do that. They are, if they go to the first world government,
the money launderers would probably go to countries where corruption is very high.
Yes, this is good. You are.
I understood where you were going. Anyway, yeah,
So
it's logical.
yes.
Yeah.
So they can't go to the world who are applying, governance.
Right. And of course, when they come to places where corruption is evidently high, it's dangerous for this or that country because this money, comes in very suddenly and leaves abruptly. And
this is the problem. And you can't distinguish.
Predict.
You can't distinguish the clean money from
the dirty money.
The dirty money. This is the problem. So once you applied governance, you will close that channel.
Right. Or minimize. I mean.
Or minimize.
Yeah. Minimize is
minimize to a very low.
Because you can't. Get it to zero. I mean, it's impossible. It's against human nature. I mean, corruption cannot be zero. I mean, this is against logic. There has to be a percentage of corruption.
But governance means the limitation of corruption. Limitation to the lowest.
And the smallest number you get it to, the more efficient you are. I mean,
So we are applied it here for this purpose. Second, thirdly is integrity. For the goals of governance is integrity. Integrity means there is no direct benefits of board directors and institutions, or even the first degree relatives of him. So once you make governance, you are sure that there is an integrity in that institution or that.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You just reminded me of your first words in the episode now, when you said that the financial crisis in Wall Street was, one of the triggers or one of the things that made governance a trend now, is because, of course, there is a lot of there was, and there must be still, but I mean, at a certain time, there was a lot of inside dealings, the use of inside information, and the major shareholders knew about things and they acted accordingly.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's against the law, of course, and against governance.
That's right.
Please proceed.
Yes, and governance also protect the assets of the states and assets of the owners, assets of the parties. Once you applied governance, you are protecting these assets very safely, and they are safe about their money or about providing good services. Also, governance achieving the national strategy goals of financial stability. Once you make a governance, there is a financial stability of the state. Also, the governance increase the capacity of an administrative or governmental administrative system.
Right.
It's supposed to increase its capacity. Through the developing of or training or as I told you, many performance.
Right. Right. Developing the skills
yes,
of the
developing the skills.
The employees. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And another goals. Governance decrease the risk factors. Once you applied governance, you will decrease the risk factors or decrease the negative impacts of business.
Right.
So, so that even in governmental institutions or governmental administrations, now they keep it mandatory, by the way, not optionally. And every institute must have a risk management so that can predict the problems or risk and decrease it as possible as it can. Also, the governance means an excellent results. It will give you an excellent results and outstanding performance. Once you applied governance, you will assure that the results is very okay, because you have income and outcome.
Input and output, yes.
Inputs and outputs. Through processing and through governance, if you are sure about the inputs and you administrate it very well or manage it very well, the results will be very nice. That's the governance done.
Right. And there's something called digital governance, right?
Yes.
What is digital governance?
Look,
in the simplest means, because it could be a bit complicated, I guess.
The governance itself, containing which is called digital transformations. Digital transformations is very important aspects nowadays, or important concept nowadays, because once you are perfect in digital transformation, all the world now is controlled through digital transformations. All your data, all your history, all your pictures are in a small device. So you understand how the process is going. So the digital transformation nowadays is very important, and to have the information and to make it digitalized is very important also, because once you make digitalization of data, you will avoid and you will evaluate even the business very well. You have parameters. These parameters measures the performance. These parameters are depending on numbers. You take these numbers and put it in equations that in the last will give you a number also, or a percentage that will give you a priority for evaluation of financial situation, or evaluation of the performance of these institutions.
Right.
Like even once, for example, if we are talking about the effectiveness of the health of children, and these
The programs, you mean programs and
vaccinations of children.
Right.
You vaccinate like 10,000
Kids.
And 100 of them has been died. So how is the effectiveness of that vaccine? So you divide the 100 divided by 10,000,
Yes.
so it will give you the percent of effectiveness of vaccine. You measure that like that, all the data. Now we are, once we applied governance.
Sorry to interrupt, but I mean, the effectiveness would be, we would divide like 1,000 minus 100 divided by 1,000,
no,
right?
100.
Those who died.
Who died.
Right.
Divided
by 10,000. Okay.
Which is not died.
Okay.
So it gives you like 1
over 10.
1 over 10, or no,
0.1.
0.1%.
0.01, I'm sorry.
0.01.
Yeah.
So the effectiveness of that vaccine is 99%.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah.
So you make analysis,
right.
So you can make a decision, a right decision, if you will buy this vaccine or not, or you shift for another one. You understand?
Yes.
So this is the main. I'd like to keep it easily for understanding.
Yeah. No, it's very clear. It's very clear.
So all the data now is going in the same pathway. Government or administrations try nowadays to make a connection between data of citizens, so that they can provide it in even presidential initiatives, by the way. You have big data for the, once you make a check for hepatitis C, you make a profile for these people who make a checkup. I think it was like 60 billion or 60 million citizens. They make a big data base.
Right.
This database was the initiative base for making a database. Then you can use it in other ministries. These 60 million, for example, how many of them suffering from diabetes? If we said 10% of them suffering from diabetes, so you have 6 million citizens having diabetes. So once you need a medication for diabetes, you consider that you have 6 million citizens having diabetes.
It's very clear how digital transformation is important indeed to all sectors, and you were just giving the example, of course, in the medical sector. Your specialty, of course, the management of hospitals. A final word, Dr. Adly, before we leave. It was very clear listening to you that governance is very important to the achievement of sustainable development goals and to human development at large. But if you sum it up for us in a nutshell, what would you say in the minute or so that we have left?
I'd like to say applying of governance is a must nowadays. It is a must. And by the way, it's come on the for the benefit of society, because there is some people refuse governance, by the way. These people, not a lot, but some types of people refuse governance because he or she hidden something which is illegal. So governance will leave the cover of all illegal business, by the way, or illegal relationships, or illegal procedures taken through either administrative, governmental administrative system, or even in a private sector or civil society organizations.
Yeah, that would be an ideal world.
Yes.
If governance rules.
Yes.
And we're not living in an ideal world.
Yes.
But we must do what we can. We must do what we can.
We must be compatible, and we must go in the same with the same steps of advanced countries.
Indeed.
To be a strong country, a strong state, to be attractive state for more and more investment.
Indeed. And there is belief in governance here in Egypt.
Yes.
There is belief.
No, yes, that's right.
Dear viewers, unfortunately that's all the time we have here. On behalf of you, we thank very much our dear distinguished guest, Dr. Magdy Adly, the Management and Quality Control Consultant. Thank you very much, as always, Dr. Adly.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be with you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. Please stay with Nile TV. Shukran.